Hello, my fellow detectives. My name is Olu, and welcome back to my channel. So, guys, we're here today. Let's go. So, guys, it's been a long time since I've been posting content to my channel, but I'm officially back, and we're going to be playing our first game, our first Let's Play, called No Case Should Remain Unsolved. So, I've been eyeing this game for some time now. Oh, yes, this music. So, I've been eyeing this game for some time now, and it's about a girl that's been going missing. As we can see in the picture, she's gone. And it's based around, so a girl's been missing, and all the characters in the game seem to have something that they're hiding. But we don't know what it is that they're hiding. But it's obviously related to the girl being missing, but everyone has something to hide. And what do we know? We don't know anything at the moment, but we'll figure it out in this game right now. So now let's get ready to dive down and see what secrets are hidden. Let's go. It's good to be back, guys. It's good to be back. I realized I was a jellyfish. I spent the past 70 years simply drifting through life with no headache in particular, blindly stinging everyone I encountered. Can you see it too? The people I tried to embrace, I only ended up hurting. Everywhere I went, I left nothing but ruin. So that's it. That's what I am. A jellyfish floating across the sea. I don't even remember why I once became a police detective. Okay, so this is about a police detective, and basically they have trauma from this case. Look over there at that family, weeping for their lost child. Have I ever done anything to wipe away their tears? A police station is a crucible of pain and grief. Sorry if I mispronounced that word. So why did I choose to enter that institution? Why did I think I could somehow offer people solace and hope? Maybe I was simply being selfish. Maybe I became a detective just so I could belong somewhere. I should stop now. I should stop wandering with nothing but regret on my lips. That's it, then. The first good thing I'll ever have done for anyone. Everyone, I'm sorry for everything. Madam. Okay, so the woman on the right, called Madam, is the detective, I'm assuming. Miss Jongyeon, who are you? Remember that little girl? Choi Seowon? Choi Seowon? Choi Seowon? Oh, sure. The girl who went missing? That's right, ma'am. Do you know what happened to that girl you brought back? Thanks to you, her family found peace. Do their lives look ruined to you? The doctor says my mind is like an old library without an index. I'm sorry, but I have no idea who you are. I see you're in uniform, so you couldn't be Shiwon's ghost. From the way you bring up my forgotten failure, I can only assume you're here to deliver judgment. Ooh. She's very depressed. Ma'am, I'm not here to judge you. I only want to tell you about the life you lived. Your Honor, you already know what happened. I never brought Shiwon home. The case ended the way her father, Choi Dongyeon, wanted. Sorry if I mispronounced the names. I think they're based in Korea. I think this is a game based in Korea, I guess. She's disappeared forever, completely out of her mother's reach. Leave the case unsolved? We can't do that, sir. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Okay, so this is a conversation with Shiwon's father. Leave the case unsolved? We can't do that, sir. Ooh. You mean you've already filed missing persons case? She was officially registered as a missing person then. Then please, that's good enough. Detective, I'm begging you. Please don't look for my daughter anymore. Stop asking where she is. Keep her completely out of her mother's reach. Let her just live life somewhere. Just say that she went out to the playground like she always did and vanished. That's all. A perfect crime with no witnesses, no suspects. So please, please leave this case unsolved. I'll do anything. Please. I beg of you. So the father doesn't want her daughter to be found. That's sus. That's very sus indeed. So that's how you remember it. This was the last case I took before I resigned from the missing persons team. See how relieved I looked after what Choi Dong-yeon said? That man knew. If we wanted to close the case and move on, we needed a good excuse. That my refusal was only customary, a front to cover up my cowardice. Ma'am, history is that certainty produced at the point where the imperfections of memory meet the inadequacies of documentation. What do you mean? It means you just don't get it. Can you remember the beginning and the end of the case? Let me help you weave together the threads connecting the start to the finish. I think Siwon's mother called me to report the girl missing. Yes, I remember now. She said Siwon disappeared from the playground. Okay, so we're going through the conversations that Jeon Gyung had with all the suspects, or all the people involved in the case, it seems. So we're going to go to Siwon's mother now. The dialogue with Siwon's mother. Calm down, ma'am. Who am I speaking to again? Detective, Jeon Gyung, yes? Do you remember me? You came here on Siwon the other day. I asked you not to ring the doorbell. Please tell me you remember. Detective, I'm scared. Please hurry. She's gone. Siwon is gone. She was just at the playground. When did you last see her at the playground? Exactly 3:33 in the afternoon. Detective, she disappeared 3 hours ago. We've looked everywhere a 7-year-old girl could have gone alone. What do we do now? I'm trying not to panic, but the worst is all that comes to mind. Okay, so we're done with Siwon's mother's dialogue, so who are we speaking to next then? Ex-English teacher. You're turning yourself in? Yes, I would like to surrender to the police. I am responsible. A little girl went missing from the playground, didn't she? 3 days ago? She was with me. I took her away. Okay, so we have someone that's confessing to the crime. But is it true though? Is it true? Or is he lying for someone? I'm sorry. It's my fault. I did it because I needed the money. I'm sorry. What do you mean it's all your responsibility? Detective, the truth is, she's dead. Oh wow. Siwon is dead. She's been dead all this time. Excuse me guys, sorry, I apologize for that. She's been dead all this time. Okay. Your Honor, that's all I remember about the case. Now I understand why you've come to me here at the final crossroads. Why you want me to remember the beginning and the end. You're the gatekeeper of time and space. Janice, so that's the name of the actual police officer that's talking to Jeong-yeon. I had put it completely out of my mind. Was I trying to forget those memories because I felt guilty? The man who took her turned himself in, but I pretended it never happened. And the girl, she was already dead, but I pretended not to know. I'm sorry. Someone like me doesn't deserve peace. Man, it's alright, don't be afraid. I don't care what you want to call me, but you have to know that this isn't the end of the road. You're not bound for hell or purgatory. Now think back. Siwon disappeared from the playground, right? Try to recall everything you can about the location. Okay, now we're going back through the memories. I can see more fragments now. I see them. But they're so faint, like scars faded with age. No, You're doing great. Once you've brought up the fragments, try connecting them together. Build a chain of recollections. Even a dried out ravine, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Even a dried out ravine or ravine, I'm not sure, can be a river again when the waters return. Okay, so we need to go through everything that Jonghyun had gone through with all the suspects to sort of determine the truth, because she's traumatized and she doesn't know what she's doing anymore. So the playground. So so it seems that the starting point is the playground. So let's focus on the playground then. Okay, so there are three conversations that we have to go through. So let's start with the top one first. It's alright. Again, was there anything unusual about Shiwon's activities today? No, it was all business as usual. She goes to kindergarten on weekdays, and we go to the playground on weekends as a family. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we have two playgrounds in the condo complex. Normally, we alternate between them. I go along sometimes, but one of them isn't wheelchair accessible, so Haejong has to take the kids on her own. So we're hearing about Haejong, but we have no idea who this Haejong person is. Is it a girl? I think it is a girl. Doesn't sound like a boy's name. Again, I'm not really experienced with the names in Korea, so. Wait. Recently, they've only been going to that one playground. Haejong said the kids asked to go there today too. So it seems that this playground that isn't wheelchair access, so that doesn't allow wheelchair access, was mainly the playground that they've been hanging around in. If it only they'd gone to the other playground, on the way back, they sometimes drop by the stationery store near the complex entrance. The place is called Apollo. Okay. Shiwon loves getting candy there. Okay. So the playground, so from what we've understood from Shiwon's mother's testimony, is that they've mainly been spending time in the playground that has no wheelchair access. And Haejong is the one that mainly takes the kids, including Shiwon. But we have no idea who Haejong is, so we need to get more information, I guess. So I think we need to focus on the highlighted words of the playground. So let's move on to I think it's best we move on to the father's testimony and get his insight on the playground situation. Okay, let's move on to okay, we have to continue with the mother then. Okay. Let's go with this one then. Okay. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but try to think about it, okay? See if you can remember someone you didn't usually see at a playground. I heard you were all together there. Shiwon, your mother, and you too. Mongyo. Ooh, so who's Mongyo? Is that the brother of Shiwon then? The mother's silent. Yeah. We were all together. Okay. Let's move on to this last conversation with the mother. Okay. Let's move on to the ex-teacher, the ex-English teacher. So a little girl went missing from the playground. Let's go. Did you see any suspicious individuals when you went to pick up Shiwon or anything out of the ordinary? Okay, so I think what's happening is that we have to connect the dots. So there's certain conversations that can't be unlocked until we've actually gone through another person's dialogue. So another person's entry. So we had to go to the ex-English teacher dialogue or the playground to unlock this conversation with the mother. It's exactly as my daughter said. I was so sure Shiwon would be at the playground, but when I got there, I didn't see her. So did you see any suspicious individuals when you went to pick up Shiwon or anything out of the order? Exactly as my daughter said. I was so sure Shiwon would be at the playground, but when I got there, I didn't see her. So who's the daughter? Does she have another daughter then? Does Shiwon have a sister? We need a lot more information on this. So I assume my daughter took her along. Then my daughter came downstairs and looked at me with her eyes wide, and I thought, oh no. Detective, I think you might be making a mountain out of a molehill. I don't know if my daughter told you, but Siwon goes alone to a place all the time. To places all the time. My daughter worries easily, but mark my words, the girl always wanders back in time for dinner. So I think Siwon's mother, okay, so I think Siwon's mother has two daughters, and assuming Myung-gyo, the son. So I'm assuming that the mother and the father had 3 kids, including Siwon. Please don't worry about it. I'll have a stern word with my daughter. Honestly, I can't believe she's gone and called you. So, from what I'm understanding from this dialogue, is that the daughter, not Siwon, but I guess in her sister, was the one that made the first call of the girl being missing. It seems. Think back to the testimonies about the playground. Who do you think those people were? People. These testimonies were all from one person? I mean, these testimonies were all from one person. One day? Ma'am, life is a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? Oh, wow. Jigsaw puzzle master. Lord. Okay. Change speaker. Okay, so there are definitely fades that's been mixed up here. Jonghyun is mixing up testimonies or dialogues, so we have to try and reshuffle them up. Exactly. Your memories are scrambled and misaligned. But each fragment, each moment connects with another. Look at the connections closely and you'll figure out where the pieces belong. Who said these things and in what order? That's what we need to figure out, guys. Oh my gosh. Wish me luck. And then what? What does that change? Who knows? Maybe if you connect enough pieces, you might discover a key. A key that unlocks the face of the person putting the puzzle back together. Okay. So I think what we should do now is focus on let's focus on the mother's dialogue. Because it seems that there's a lot more. So let's start with the doorbell. So the mother said he came to check on Siwon the other day. I asked you not to ring the doorbell. What about the doorbell? Let's go back to that conversation. Okay, we've got something. Hello, madam. Senior Inspector Jung-gyung from the police station. You could be Siwon's mother. Would you be Siwon's mother? Correct? I'm just here to see Siwon if that's alright. Oh my gosh. You scared me, detective. I was expecting the delivery man. Could you please knock instead of ringing the doorbell next time? Sorry, it was crossed out. My daughter's taking a nap. She dozed off in front of the TV while I was washing the rice. I just tucked her in. Come inside. Fast asleep. See? I suppose you can't really tell under that blanket. She must be tired, the poor thing. Siwon and I were out and about all day yesterday. She slept in this morning too. I swear, kids grow up so fast. She's gotten so much taller that barely anything fits anymore. I had to do all her shopping at once. First day of school is only a month away and there's so much to buy. Oh, I hope she wakes up soon so we can eat and get her uniform fitted. I'm sorry, detective. You might have to wait a while before she wakes up. So, what brings you here? So there's definitely something suspicious about Siwon's mother. So it seems that that obviously she was basically from the conversation. Hang on. Yeah. So from this conversation, we could tell that Shiwon's mother was definitely hiding something. I'm actually trying to speculate. Maybe the girl under the blankets wasn't Shiwon. That's what I'm thinking. It may not have been Shiwon. Because if you remember correctly, she said about how her daughter was over exaggerating, about how her daughter basically made the call to the police first. So I'm assuming after the daughter called the police, Jeong Gyeong now went to the door trying to check in if Shiwon was okay, if there was anything that they needed. But I think Shiwon may have already been gone from that point, and the mother was trying to be positive and basically trying to hide the fact that there's anything wrong. But there's still more we need to dig into. So I think if we could continue on with this dialogue, I guess, with Tula, highlighting the word Tula. Okay, so there are things that are locked. So, do you really think Mr. Kim Gan-seok is the culprit? So this game is basically about piecing things together, right? Trying to connect dots to unlock more conversations, it seems. And I'm guessing Mr. Kim Gan-seok may be the name of the ex-English teacher that has just confessed to possibly murdering Shiwon. But is that the case, though? We don't know. So right now, let's carry on. So, Tool, thank you for telling me, Mongyo. Thank you for telling me, Mongyo. I heard you're in 5th grade at elementary school. Okay? With your height, I bet the girls won't leave you alone. For your age, you're very tall for your age. Is it because you take after your mom? Or maybe Myung-go was the one under the bed sheets, was under the blankets. Possibly that's it, right? Okay, he's very tall. I take. Okay, so it is true. So Jonghyun is definitely mixing things up. So we are actually talking to Myung-yo, who I think, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name. Myung-ho. I think Myung-ho. So it seems like Myung-ho, we actually see to Myung-ho, but it's still under the dialogue of Shiwon's mother. So we need to somehow try and get Jeong-gyung, we have to somehow try and get Jeong-gyung, the detective, back on track that this is Myung-yo that she's speaking to, not the mother. I take after her. Am I really like her? So is there any way we can arrange this? Okay. Miyonko, okay, there we go. But is there a way we could connect the dots though? Because we can't. So let's carry on. You seem to know Shiwon's family well. So who exactly? So okay. Oh, I see what's happening. Very tall. I looked one of the conversations. Tall. I looked this conversation, but we have to find another word of tall to unlock this new conversation here or school. So you seem to know Shiwon's family well, but who is this person that the detective is speaking to? It's obviously someone outside of the family. But we need to connect the dots. We don't know who that is, so I think that's a dead end right here. So, okay. Let's focus more on the dialogue here. So, the mother says that Shiwon goes alone to places, and she's very young. So, is there anything we could do with this? Okay, so they're off words. Okay, so which one should I choose? Does Shiwon have any favorite places near the playground? Somewhere she might have wandered off to on her own? Has Shiwon ever wandered off alone before? Okay. Let me just go with the top one. Does Shiwon have any favorite places near the playground? Does she want to have any favorite places near the playground? Somewhere she might have wandered off to on her own? Okay. Wandered off? She didn't stroll away somewhere. She's been kidnapped. All possibilities are on the table. As if. Get off your chairs and do something. We're running out of time here. Mobilize the force. Get those cruisers on the streets. Anything. TikTok detective. Who knows what they're doing to her? And you're sitting here asking where she's gone on her own? Damn it. Damn it. I'm sorry, detective. I know you're doing everything you can. So I'm guessing from the picture here, this dialogue belongs to the I'm thinking the father. Okay, I think okay, there's definitely more conversations to be had. So okay, we've unlocked this conversation. Wait, do we have I have to open to connect this conversation. Okay. Okay. So I think for now, so we've got a lot. So there are definitely some things mixed up here. As much as we're getting this Honor She Was mother's testimony, I think we can all agree that some of the testimony in this column are not from the mother. We just have to try and separate that though, but we don't know how to do that yet. So I think for now, let's go on to the father's. Okay, hang on, you wanna go? Okay. So I think along those lines, let's carry on with the testimony of the mother. She said that she disappeared 3 hours ago. Is anything more? Okay, we unlocked something. Okay. I think I'll come to those later. Let's focus on what to do now? I heard you in 5th grade. Oh, that's 2 million ago. Okay, that's a lot of conversations here. Oh wow. Okay, so where do I go from here? Oh my gosh, where do I go from here? Okay, okay. Let's do it. Okay, alright, let's go. Yeah. Let's go. I think so from what the mother's saying, so obviously there are some things mixed up. So I think we should okay, let's carry on the route. Let's carry on the route. So we have a lot of conversations that's been unlocked here. So we have like 5 new or 6 new things we could talk about here. Okay, so which one should we talk about? Has Siwon ever wandered off alone before? How do you remember the times? Okay, has Siwon wandered alone before? Okay, let's see which one. Okay, has Siwon ever wandered alone before? Let's go. Is that really possible? Detective, I think it might be my fault she's gone. I was in the hospital for a long time after I had Siwon. Okay, so this is the mother. I couldn't care for her because I was bedridden. But since we both spent so much time looking up at the hospital ceiling, I thought I might be able to understand her better. Now, though, I'm not so sure. Do you think she resents me? Is that why she won't call me mom? Is that why she's always so hard to find? I have to score all the playgrounds to find her. So it seems that the mother's thinking that Siwon hates her. But why? I couldn't care for her because I was bedridden. But since we both spent so much time looking up at the hospital ceiling, I thought I might be able to understand her more. Okay. Bedridden. She was bedridden. Hang on, what does that mean? Sorry guys, I'm looking at what bedridden means. Okay. Individuals confined to bed due to so her mum was severely sick and she's always confined to lying in bed. Okay, so this also sort of explains why she wasn't really able to take her kids to the playground much, because she was still recovering from this illness. It seems, if I'm understanding this correctly. So okay, there's a lot of conversations with the mother here. So okay, let's go through this one by one. How do you remember the time so precisely? Okay, I think we need to leave that for later. So Mongyo feel. So let's look at what Mongyo. Okay. Hang on. How's Mongyo feel? That's like police. So is there any words of the police or something? Police station? There we go. Police. Let's go to how Mongyo feels. How does Mongyo feel? It must have been a big change for him. Your station searched the park in the neighborhood, right, detective? The one with the pond. The park in the neighborhood, the one with the pond. The weeping willow trees by the water. They're lonely to look at. I took a stroll there last year with Monkyo and Haijong, and the trees reminded me of Monko. So, Haijong has to be a relative to the family, right? Let's have a look at that. Oh wait, not yet. He looks like he's at the mercy of the world sometimes, but the truth is he's the most unyielding boy you'll meet. For children and adults too, I suppose. A death in the family is apparently like experiencing your universe collapse. Rebuilding from those ruins was a time-consuming journey, but I think Myung-ho's managed quite well in his own right. I don't know if you noticed, but there's something he always carries around, never leaves home without it. So let's go with Haijong. So Haijong. I'm assuming that Haijong has to be the sister of Monkyo and she won. But why isn't it clear? Okay, let's go back to this. So, so a death in the family. Okay. Okay, there's still a lot more conversations to go through. Having contacted Shiwon's father, he claims to be the culprit behind the disappearance. Okay. Okay, we need to find more keywords. I think let's try and connect the father and the mother together somewhere. I think for now, let's take a break from the mother conversation, on the mother section. So from what we understand from the mother section, before we move on to Shiwon's father, is that, first of all, it seemed like she was hiding something from the detective, because she put a blanket over her child, who seemed to be taller. So I'm assuming that might be Myung-ho, the brother of Shiwon, maybe trying to cover up that there's something wrong, that there's something wrong. And what we also learned is that obviously Myung-ho is a tall guy, and we didn't really know a lot of dialogue from him either. We still don't know what Shin Woo Haejung is. I'm assuming that she's aware that she's the sister to Myung Ho and Siwon, but still it hasn't is yet to be confirmed. But that's mostly what I'm lying close towards. And what we also know is that Siwon's mother was weak. That she was always in that she was mostly in hospital. She was mostly in bed, so she couldn't really do much. So I think for the time being, we should move on to okay. I think before we go into the father, I think let's see if we can dig up something about the ex-English teacher who just confessed. I think that's what's important. So he said, is there anything we could get from him? Okay, alright, okay. Surrender. Okay, let's go here. So this is the ex-English teacher then. I see your mother has contacted you. Okay. It's exactly as you heard. Will you be coming to the police station together? That man was never one for prayer. No matter how deep you dug, he said the spade would never know the smell of the earth. He refused to pray even once as our baby lay sick in the hospital. Hang on. Is he? So we need to remember that the detective isn't really remembering things clearly, right? So I'm assuming this conversation must have been. This conversation must be from the father of Siwon. But anyways, let's carry on this conversation. That's why he refused to pray even once as our baby lay sick in the hospital. That's why he doesn't understand. That prayer is the reason we've been so blessed. All he ever did was get angry that he couldn't change anything with his own abilities. You said he turned himself in? This has to be the father. The ex-English teacher just confessed to saying that to turn himself in, and he's saying, "You said he turned himself in." That can't not be the ex-English teacher talking right now. It can't. If he really did take her, maybe it was because he couldn't afford child support payments. He's been complaining since last summer about how he was having a hard time keeping up with the payment schedule. I told him this was a critical time in Siwon's life, that he had to get his act together. We may be divorced, but he's still her father. Hang on. I told him this was critical time in Siwon's life, that he had to get his act together. We may be divorced, but he's still her father. This has to be either this has to be Siwon's mother. This has to be Siwon's mother, right? Even now, I suppose he's still trying to change things himself without even trying to pray. Okay, first of all, what mother? So this is Siwon's grandmother. Okay, Siwon's grandmother. So I see. So Siwon's grandmother has contacted you. I see your mother has contacted you. It's exactly as you heard. Will you be coming to the police station together? That man was never one for prayer. No matter how he refused to pray even once as our baby lay sick in the hospital. That's why he doesn't understand that prayer is the reason we've been so blessed. This conversation has to be from Siwon's mother. It has to be. Is there anything more we could get from this conversation? Okay. All right. So the English teacher, the ex-English teacher. So there are definitely things mixed up here. I think for now, what we should do is try and do some grilling into the father. So what we now figured out is that Shiwon's grandmother, is part of this case as well. But let's go and have a good discussion. Let's have a good discussion with Shiwon's father about this. So again, Haijong must be the daughter. Okay. So let's start with So Shiwon goes to kindergarten. Can you tell me anything about Shiwon's life at kindergarten? I've always explained everything to the other officers on the phone, detective. Is she still missing? How could someone take her away in broad daylight in the middle of the condo complex? I heard her mother and brother were with her. They didn't see anything? So the brother, obviously, that's Monkyo. I don't know if this will help, but, well, you asked me to tell you anything, so I guess I will. Shiwon is always optimistic and cheerful. She started at Eden last year, and I was surprised that she never shed away from any of us teachers. Again, this couple not be the father speaking right now. At first, I just took her for a friendly child. Then I realized that her brother came to pick her up instead of her mother, but she never asked where her mother was. No, not that that's a problem, not at all. But, well, how should I put this? I suppose I've never seen her cry or get angry or even frown. So I always feel like I want to keep a closer eye on her, make sure she's okay. She's going to need a lot of guidance and attention. She's so cheerful and bright, but in a strange, fragile way. Does that make sense? Okay. So what I'm understanding from this is that this cannot be the father speaking. This has to be a teacher of some kind from Shiwon's kindergarten place, and Shiwon was never crying. I think this connects to the mother's conversation about how she was ill and how she was always in bed. Shiwon never shed any sort of conflicted or negative emotions about her mother because she was already aware that her mother was in bed. She was already aware that her mother was sick. So Shiwon was never a girl to really show her negative emotions. She was always cheerful and kind and always optimistic. So when her brother came to pick her up, she already knew what was going on. This is definitely the teacher speaking, but is there any way we could sort of highlight this? So, Eden. So this is the kindergarten place. Okay. I never seen her cry. Okay, alright. About the kindergarten teachers. We need to connect. I think our first priority is to connect the mother and the father. Because it seems that the father wasn't really in any of the dialogue the mother was talking about. Like when the mother was talking, we never heard her talk about her husband. So they definitely must have divorced before all this has happened, before she was disappearance. I think what's important is to establish the connection between the mother and father of Shiwon. We've been divorced for about 5 or 6 years. Okay, so this is definitely the father. Thank God we have something that actually, follows through. I'm a monster, aren't I? Abandoning my wife when she needed me the most. But at the time, I thought it was all for the best. That we'd reach our limits. That we'd only hurt each other if we kept on living like this. That's what I told myself. When our eyes met, I would face the emptiness inside. And it was excruciating because I knew that void could never be filled. If only we could have cried it out together and kept each other going. But we struggled to help each other. We were making no progress at all. And one day we realized that it hurts more to deal with our pain together than alone. So we chose to go our separate ways. That was our decision. To run from our wounds instead of confronting them. To let the blade drop on the guillotine. So they definitely were divorced. How long have we been going on for? Let me check. Okay, we've been going on for like 46 minutes now. Alright guys. I think before we end this video, let's try and explore one more convo. Divorced? Is there anything more we could talk about? Okay, alright, let's go through one of these conversations and see if we could dig something more. So, alright, explain to me how you took Seowon. Okay. So some of these conversations are definitely mixed up. Okay, let's go through this one. When was the last time you saw Seowon's father? Do you call him often? What's that man got to do with Seowon going missing? We cut off all contact years ago. The nerve of him walking out after what happened to the girl. Detective, what I mean is, Seowon was always sickly, but that man divorced my daughter, leaving her to care for the poor baby alone. But, well, he's not the sort of man who take her away from under her mother's nose. Please, it's nothing serious, detective, really. Okay, guys. So from that conversation, I think that was the grandmother of Seowon that spoke. So, what's that man got to do with Seowon's going missing? So I'm thinking from the relationship, but that man divorced myself. So this conversation was basically the grandmother. So assuming that this conversation is the grandmother, so this grandmother that is Seowon. So, okay, so Seowon's grandmother here is the daughter. No, this grandmother is, how do I put this? It's related to Seowon's mother. So they're family. That's part of the family tree. So basically, Rija, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. I think the G sound, Rija. So Rija, who's Seowon's grandmother, is the mother of Seowon's mother. Basically, if you guys catch my drift. So that's the conversation that's here. This conversation here is the grandmother of Seowon talking badly and illy about Seowon's father. Okay, guys, that's the end of the video. I have to end this here for now, but I'm very invested into solving this case. I don't know how many videos it will take me, but I will definitely solve this case. So, guys, I hope you guys join me along for this journey to figure out what happened to Seowon and who's telling the truth and the lies. I hope you guys stay tuned, and if you guys like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me a lot knowing that you guys love the content I produce. But if you guys do love it, please like and subscribe to my channel, and please turn on the notifications so you guys next know when I next upload my next playthrough and more videos to come. But guys, this seems to be the end. So for now, I would like to say farewell. I hope you guys have a good day. But for now, this is Olu, and he's signing off.